very good morning to all our Sports Today family members, and we've got some quite interesting updates when you have to look at the world of cricket. Yes, you may be having a slight lull, but action never stops. It's now almost going to be 1 month ever since the World Cup final ended, and it ended in tears for India. They lost the World Cup final on a pitch where they had actually fallen foul for their own. So, India, the pitch that they chose, that backfired spectacularly on them, and that's why they lost the final by 6 wickets to Australia, and it was a sixth title for them. Now, in a report that has come in the Times of India, the ICC has actually rated the Ahmedabad World Cup final pitch as average. The semi-final match that was played between Australia and South Africa and Kolkata, that also has been rated average. Now, the India versus New Zealand match, the main start of all this pitch controversy that happened. Why would they suddenly want to change the pitch? That has been rated good by the ICC. Now, what is the exact criteria in this? Where is pitch ratings are all given at very randomly? Because remember, Rahul Dravid, the Indian head coach, had actually lambasted the way how the ICC rated the pitches. Ahmedabad has been rated average both for the India-Pakistan game, the India-Australia final, and the Chennai wicket was also rated average by India for the India-Australia game. The ICC, if you have to look at it, five pitches where the Indian team actually were playing in, which featured the hosts, all have been rated average. This continues the trend of India's pitches not getting the ideal rankings from the ICC. Remember, the Indore pitch fiasco that happened in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Initially, it was poor. Some demerit points were given. But then after that, the unfortunate thing is, it was then upgraded because the Indore Cricket Association and the BCCI, the MP Cricket Association and BCCI both appealed. And that is the reason why average ratings for India's pitches is sure to cause some kind of a furor. Because remember, the World Cup final pitch, yes, only 240 runs were scored. But was it an average wicket? Yes, it was a slow, low wicket which became better later on as the game progressed. But was it truly an average wicket? That we have to analyze at this very particular point in time. So I'll be doing a special video on how the pitch rating mechanism works in the ICC, who decides the ratings, what does an average rating mean, and all these kind of things. But now, moving away from the ICC pitch situation, which has rated the Ahmedabad World Cup wicket final, the final that was played there, it was average. We now move to the spat that is going on between Gautam Gambhir and Sreesanth. Now, there has been a lot of words exchanged. Sreesanth had actually shared a lot of videos on his Instagram handle, and he has lambasted the way Gautam Gambhir has behaved. Even Sreesanth's wife has jumped into the fray, calling Gautam Gambhir like it shows how his upbringing is. It was very, very harsh indeed. Gambhir, on the other hand, has maintained his silence on the matter. But now, there is a major jolt for Sreesanth because he has now been issued a legal notice by the league. The league has issued a legal notice to Sreesanth on these three grounds. One, he has spoken against the player, which goes against the very conditions of the contract in the league. Second, he has also posted content on social media against the player, which was unwarranted for. That goes against the rules of the LLC. And third, the umpire's report does not mention the word that Sreesanth had actually used to describe why he had that outburst against Gautam Gambhir. The umpire's report mentions no specific thing. Now remember, in this particular instance where the altercation took place, it was near where the umpires were, especially on-field umpires were. And that is the reason why one has to understand that maybe Sreesanth is in a bit of trouble here. The league has issued a legal notice to Sreesanth on the grounds that he's posted on social media, and there can be no dialogue with Sreesanth unless and until he removes all the social media posts. That is the one condition that is there. The umpire's report states that there is no such word that was used. And thirdly, speaking against the player who's part of the same LLC, the Legends League Cricket, it goes against their very contract. And that's why Sreesanth might be in a bit of trouble in this kind of instance. So, Sreesanth has been issued a legal notice. The thing is whether he will delete all the videos and then indulge in a dialogue with the LLC, or will he stand defiant. That is the way we are looking at it. So Sreesanth and Gambhir, we have not seen the last of this fight, the last of this very ugly mudslinging that has happened. So what happens in this case, who's right, who's wrong, we don't know at this point. So let's see where this goes on. But from one fight, we move to the other fight. Mitchell Johnson versus David Warner. Now, for the first time, David Warner has spoken out on this controversy. And then he said that everybody is entitled to his or her opinion. But there are so many positives that are there in Australian cricket that we have to focus on this. It is unwarranted. That's what Mitchell Johnson and that's what David Warner has stated. He's finally broken his silence today. He has not responded directly to Mitchell Johnson's barbs that have been there. He stated that yes, everybody is entitled to his or her opinion. My parents have brought me up in such a way that I have to manage criticism as you are playing international cricket. I'm ready for any kind of fight. I'm ready for any kind of challenges. He's been picked for the first test against Pakistan, the West Test that has now been rebranded in Perth. So that is why if he does well in that, he could play the Boxing Day Test and then end his test career in Sydney. It's as simple as that. So Pakistan versus Australia, the build-up has been going on off the field when it comes to Australia in a big, big way. There has been mixed response to their kits that have come out. Some people have said it is pretty bad. The others have said it's quite good. On the other hand, David Warner has maintained his dignified silence and he's given a very dignified response to what has happened here. Rest of the media may be lapping up to whatever has been said. But yes, Warner has given a very mature response to Mitchell Johnson's barbs. Maybe if both can sit down and sort out their differences, then it could actually work in the longer run. So David Warner has also broken his silence on the matter in this case. Now, when we have to look at cricket, Zimbabwe yesterday created history. After 31 years of playing international cricket, yesterday they played their first ever match under lights in Harare. Zimbabwe finally joined elite nations in the quest of playing day-night cricket. And yesterday's match between Ireland and Zimbabwe was the first day-night encounter in Harare. Finally, Zimbabwe pulled through and they won by 1 wicket. 1 wicket against Ireland in what was a thrilling encounter. Sikandar Raza yet again was in good form. Blessing Muzrabani was the guy who got the inside edge, but the keeper fumbled. 2 runs came up and it set off massive celebrations in Harare. There was a fair bit of crowd also, which suggests that in the long run, day-night matches in Zimbabwe could actually work. So that's why Zimbabwe, 31 years later, ever since they came into international cricket, they were the only nation to have not played day-night cricket at home. They finally got that wish yesterday. Ireland lost by 1 wicket to Zimbabwe in the T20I, the first ever T20I, in the first ever day-night match that was held in Harare. It was quite a spectacle and it was truly a magnificent feat indeed. But now switching our attention to all other sports as well, we are looking at build-up to the Paris Olympics. The latest reports that we are getting is that all the sporting federations, they will have to align their basic selection criteria on Olympic specifics. Now remember, the quest is for Olympic medals. If they are not having Olympic standard requirements, then most sporting federations will not get the backing. For example, boxing, in the camps, for example, if they do not have the training regime according to the Olympic standards, they will not get the funding. They will not be allowed to ensure that they will go to Paris. So that's why the government is shaping up in a big, big way to ensure that India wins a lot of medals in Paris. They have also given the go-ahead for 47 foreign coaches from different disciplines to accompany the Indian cricket team, and also some of them being made full-time, permanent in that sense. Classic case, if you have to look at it, badminton, Matthias Bow, he will accompany Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty. Craig Fulton, for that matter, when you look at Indian hockey, Then you also have Yannick Schupman when for the India women's team, and that's why it's quite a big initiative that the government is doing at this point in time. So when you look at other sports also, Rafael Nadal has stated that May 2024 is definitely my final year, but whether it is a full year, half year, quarter year, it all depends on his body, his physique, the injury toll that could take on him. It all depends on that. And then when you have to look at the Junior World Cup, India yesterday suffered a loss, a 4-1 loss rather, to Spain. And now their last game against Canada is a must win. They have to win so that they can get to the next stage. On the other hand, our neighbors, Pakistan, are making a good progress. They are on top of their group. And that is why they are in quite a tough group. And Pakistan are making all the right statements when you look at the Junior World Cup. So we'll be following the Junior World Cup hockey tournament that's happening in Kuala Lumpur quite closely. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We are also building up to the Women's Premier League auction as well as the second T20 between India and England that'll happen in Mumbai tomorrow. And we'll be bringing you all the latest updates from India versus South Africa as well. That also begins on the 10th. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.